Captain Maya Chen took a deep breath as she stood on the bridge of the EDF Artemis. Today was a big day for all humans. After hundreds of years of looking at the stars, humanity was finally going to meet aliens. "Captain, we're approaching the meeting point," said Lieutenant Rodriguez, her pilot. "All systems normal," reported Officer Paddle from the weapons station. "Defense systems are hidden, as ordered." Maya nodded. The Artemis looked like a simple ship from the outside. No one could see the special weapons inside. That was the plan. To look friendly, not dangerous. Through the main window, Maya saw the alien ships waiting. There were 5 of them, all different shapes and sizes. The biggest one had glowing blue rings around it. "Open communication channel," Maya ordered. The main screen lit up, showing a strange creature with purple skin and 4 eyes. It wore something that looked like a uniform. "Greetings from Earth and the human race," Maya said with a practiced smile. "I am Captain Maya Chen of the Earth Defense Force." The alien spoke, and the ship's computer translated. "Welcome, humans. I am High Commander Zextor of the Galactic Concordat. We represent 27 spacefaring species who live together in peace." The meeting started well. Maya explained how humans had finally discovered faster-than-light travel. The aliens seemed interested in trade and cultural exchange. Then things went wrong. "Our scans detect unusual energy readings from your vessel," said a thin, reptile-like alien who had not spoken before. "What is the purpose of your ship's core technology?" Maya tried to sound casual. "The Artemis uses our standard propulsion system. Nothing special." The reptile alien's eyes narrowed. "You lie. Our deep scans show weapon potential unlike anything in the Concordat. A primitive species should not have such technology." The mood in the meeting changed instantly. The aliens began arguing among themselves. "The humans must be contained," shouted the reptile alien. "They are clearly dangerous. We should study their technology first," said another alien with metallic skin. High Commander Zextor raised all 4 of his hands. "Silence. Captain Chen, please explain this deception." Before Maya could answer, Officer Patel shouted, "Captain, the alien ships are powering weapons." Maya had to make a quick decision. This was supposed to be a peaceful meeting. "We came as friends." "Primitives with advanced weapons are never friends," said the reptile alien. "They are threats." "All ships, defensive positions," ordered Zextor. "The human vessel will be escorted to Concordat space for inspection." Maya knew they were in danger. "Lieutenant, prepare for emergency jump." "But Captain, we're not supposed to show them what the Artemis can really do." Rodriguez protested. "We have no choice. Engage the cascade drive. Now." The Artemis hummed as its secret technology activated. Before the alien ships could react, the human vessel vanished in a flash of bent light and gravity. From their observation post, the aliens watched in shock. "Impossible," whispered Zextor. "No new species has such technology." The reptile alien's face darkened. The Vox Imperium was right. Humans are dangerous. We must act now, before it's too late. In one short meeting, humanity had made its first contact with alien life, and its first enemies in the stars. 18 months before the failed first contact, Dr. Elijah Reeves stood nervously in front of 5 stern military officials in a secret underground base in Nevada. "Gentlemen, what I'm about to show you will change everything we know about space travel and defense," said Dr. Reeves, pushing his glasses up his nose. His wild gray hair stuck out in all directions, making him look like the typical mad scientist. Admiral Harlow, a tall man with a face full of scars from old battles, frowned. "We've heard big promises before, Doctor. Why should we believe yours?" Dr. Reeves smiled and pointed to a small metal cube sitting on the table. It was no bigger than a coffee mug, with strange symbols etched on its sides. "Because of this," he said, "we found it in the Kuiper Belt, beyond Pluto. It's not from Earth." The room went quiet. Everyone stared at the cube. "You're saying it's alien?" asked General Thompson, leaning forward. Yes, said Dr. Reeves. And I've figured out how it works. He pressed a button on his tablet, and a 3D model appeared in the air. It showed a complex machine with a pulsing core. I call it the Cascade Singularity Drive. It manipulates gravity itself. As a drive, it can move a ship faster than light. But as a weapon, he paused for effect. It can create controlled gravity wells that can disable or destroy any vessel. Admiral Harlow still looked doubtful. And you built this from that little box? Reverse engineered it, corrected Dr. Reeves. The real beauty is that when not activated, it looks like a normal power source on scans. Perfect for hiding in plain sight. He showed them video of his small prototype lifting a 10-ton block into the air, as if it weighed nothing. Imagine a warship with this technology, Dr. Reeves continued. It could outrun anything, defend against anything, and if necessary, defeat anything. The military officials whispered among themselves. Finally, Admiral Harlow stood up. How soon can you install this on a ship? He asked. The prototype Artemis is almost complete, said a younger officer. We could modify it to use this drive. Dr. Reeves looked concerned. This technology is still experimental. We should run more tests before. We don't have that luxury, interrupted Admiral Harlow. Intelligence suggests we're not alone in this solar system anymore. Strange readings have been detected near Jupiter. We need every advantage we can get. Dr. Reeves wanted to argue, but he saw the determination in the Admiral's eyes. Fine, he sighed, but I need to oversee the installation personally. Agreed, said Admiral Harlow. This project is now top priority. Code name: Artemis. What none of them knew was that a small, cloaked alien scout ship was indeed watching Earth from the shadows of Jupiter's moons. Its mission: to evaluate the potential threat of the rapidly advancing humans. Inside the scout ship, an alien observer recorded everything its powerful sensors could detect. It was particularly interested in the strange energy signature coming from the Nevada desert, an energy signature that matched ancient warnings about technologies too dangerous to use. The observer sent a message to its superiors: humans advancing faster than predicted. Recommend immediate containment protocols. The race to determine humanity's place among the stars had begun, even before the first official contact. 3 days after the failed first contact, Earth was in a panic. News screens everywhere showed the same message: aliens call humans a threat. In the White House war room, world leaders gathered in emergency session. Admiral Harlow stood at the front, his face grim. The Galactic Concordat has labeled us a Class 1 threat species, he explained. Their ships are gathering at the edge of our solar system. President Garcia rubbed her temples. How many ships? 27 so far, said Admiral Harlow. Most belong to the Vox Imperium, the military group Captain Chen mentioned. What do they want? Asked the Chinese premier. To inspect all our technology and remove anything they consider dangerous. Admiral Harlow replied. Especially the Artemis. The room erupted in angry voices. No one wanted aliens controlling Earth's defense. Do we have options? Asked President Garcia when the noise died down. Admiral Harlow nodded slowly. 1. We show them what the Artemis can really do. Everyone looked shocked. You want to attack them, gasped the British Prime Minister. Not attack, corrected Admiral Harlow. Demonstrate. Captain Chen. Captain Maya Chen stepped forward. She looked tired after her escape from the aliens. The Artemis wasn't built just to fight, she explained. Dr. Reeves designed the Cascade Drive to be precise. We can disable ships without destroying them or hurting anyone inside. It's a big risk, warned President Garcia. What if they see it as an act of war? They already think we're dangerous, said Admiral Harlow. Let's show them we're powerful but responsible. After hours of debate, the leaders agreed. The plan was set. The next day, the Artemis waited alone at the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Captain Chen sat in the command chair, her hands steady despite her fear. Vox Imperium fleet approaching, reported Officer Patel. They're charging weapons. All crew ready, Maya said calmly. Prepare the cascade drive for Pattern Omega. A large alien face appeared on the screen. Human vessel, power down, and prepare to be boarded. Maya stood up. This is Captain Chen of Earth. We mean no harm, but we will defend ourselves. Please withdraw. The alien laughed. Your single ship against our fleet. Surrender now. Maya nodded to Officer Patel. Activate the drive. The Artemis hummed as energy flowed through it. Outside, space itself seemed to bend. Invisible waves of gravity spread out like ripples in a pond. One by one, the alien ships froze in space. Their engines shut down, and their weapons went dark. They floated helplessly, caught in gentle gravity webs that held them without causing damage. In just 45 seconds, the entire Vox fleet was disabled. What have you done? Demanded the alien commander, his voice shaking. Demonstrated our technology, Maya replied. We could have destroyed your ships, but we chose not to harm anyone. The effect is temporary. The Artemis turned and headed back to Earth, leaving the stunned fleet behind. On a distant Concordat station, leaders of many alien species watched the recording with wide eyes. One ship disabled 27, whispered a Keldari merchant. We must have that technology. No, hissed a Vox general. It's too dangerous. But if we can't have it, then no one should, finished another alien softly. The race to control the Artemis had begun. 1 week after the Artemis' impressive display, a human delegation arrived at the Concordat's main station. Captain Maya Chen led the group, which included Dr. Elijah Reeves and 5 diplomats from Earth's largest nations. The space station was enormous, shaped like a giant wheel spinning slowly in space. Thousands of aliens from different species moved through its wide corridors. Stay close, Maya told her team. And remember, we're here to make peace, not enemies. Their guide was a tall, blue-skinned alien named Trell. The council is waiting, he said. They rarely meet for new species, especially ones labeled as threats. The council chamber was a large room with seats arranged in rising circles. Representatives from 27 species watched as the humans entered. High Commander Zextor spoke first. Humans, you have been brought here to explain your dangerous technology and your intentions toward the Concordat. Maya stepped forward. We come in peace. Earth wishes to join the galactic community as friends, not enemies. A reptile alien hissed from his seat. Friends don't hide planet-killing weapons. The Vox Imperium demands all cascade drive technology be surrendered immediately. An elegant alien with shimmering silver skin stood up. The Keldari Consortium disagrees. We propose a trade agreement. Humans share their technology, and we offer advanced medical science in return. Arguments broke out among the aliens. Maya realized the Concordat was not as united as it first appeared. Dr. Reeves leaned close to her. They're afraid of us, but they also want what we have. A thin alien with glowing eyes approached them during a break in the meeting. I am Professor Xylo of the Mithril Ascendancy, he said quietly. We should speak privately. Later, in a small room, Professor Xylo showed Dr. Reeves a hologram of the cube found in the Kuiper Belt. Where did you get this image? Dr. Reeves asked, surprised. My people have studied similar artifacts for centuries, explained Xylo. They were left by an ancient race we call the Precursors. Left? You mean deliberately? Dr. Reeves looked shocked. Xylo nodded. This was no accident. The artifacts were placed where specific species would find them. Yours was placed in your solar system about 10,000 years ago. But why? Asked Maya. We believe it was a test, said Xylo. The precursors wanted to see how different species would use their technology. Dr. Reeves sat down heavily. So we were being watched all along. Yes, said Xylo. And you are the first species to use the technology primarily for defense rather than conquest. That is unexpected. Meanwhile, On the Artemis, Security Chief Dawson found something strange. He called Maya immediately. "Captain, someone has been in our main computer system," he reported. "They copied technical files about the Cascade drive." Maya frowned. "How bad is it?" "They got basic plans, but not Dr. Reeves' latest modifications," Dawson replied. "Enough to be dangerous in the wrong hands." Maya ended the call and looked at Dr. Reeves. "We have a problem. Someone's stealing our technology." Professor Xilo's glowing eyes dimmed. "The game has begun sooner than I expected. You must be careful, Captain. Not everyone in the Concordat wants peace with humans." As they left the room, Maya noticed a Keldari merchant watching them from the shadows. The diplomatic chess match was becoming more dangerous by the hour. Captain Maya Chen was in the middle of a tense meeting with Concordat officials when her communicator beeped 3 times. The emergency signal. "Excuse me," she said, stepping away from the table. When she was alone, she answered. "What's happened?" "Dr. Reeves is gone," said Security Chief Dawson, his voice tight with worry. 4 Keldari agents took him. They had weapons. Maya's blood ran cold. "When?" 20 minutes ago. Station security is looking into it," Dawson said, his voice making it clear he didn't trust them. Maya ran back to the meeting room. "I need to return to my ship immediately," she told the aliens. "Dr. Reeves has been kidnapped." High Commander Zextor looked surprised. "That is unfortunate, but the station security will." "With all respect," Maya interrupted, "we don't have time. The Keldari stole our computer files yesterday, and now they have our chief engineer." "These are serious accusations against a Concordat member," said Zextor. The silver-skinned Keldari representative stood up angrily. "This is outrageous. We deny any involvement." Professor Xylo spoke quietly. "My sources indicate a Keldari private ship left the station 22 minutes ago, heading for the Keldari home system." Maya didn't wait for more discussion. She and her team rushed back to the Artemis. "Tracking the Keldari ship," reported Officer Patel as Maya took her command chair. "They have a 5-hour head start, Captain." "Not for long," Maya said. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, prepare for pursuit. Full speed." "But Captain," protested Rodriguez, "we were ordered not to show the Cascade drive's full capabilities." "Those orders just changed," Maya replied. "Engage Phantom mode." The Artemis hummed with power. Outside, the ship seemed to fade from view as the Cascade drive bent light around its hull, making it nearly invisible. The ship accelerated faster than any vessel in the Concordat had ever moved. Stars blurred outside the windows. 3 hours later, they reached Keldari space. Ahead, they saw the kidnappers' ship approaching a large space station. "We're too late," said Officer Patel. "They've already arrived." "No," said Maya. "We can still save Dr. Reeves. Security team, prepare for boarding." Using the Phantom mode, the Artemis moved silently alongside the Keldari station. Maya led the rescue team herself, slipping aboard through a maintenance airlock. They fought their way through surprised Keldari guards, following the tracking device in Dr. Reeves's communication badge. They found him in a laboratory, surrounded by Keldari scientists. He was unconscious but alive. "Get him back to the ship," Maya ordered as her team secured the area. One of the Keldari scientists laughed. "You're too late. We already have what we need. Our prototype is activated." A loud alarm began to sound throughout the station. "What have you done?" Maya demanded. "Created our own Cascade drive," said the scientist proudly. Then his face changed as warning lights flashed on his computer. "No, that's impossible. The gravity field is expanding too quickly." Maya grabbed Dr. Reeves and ran with her team back to the Artemis. From the bridge, they watched in horror as a dark sphere of distorted space formed near the Keldari station. It grew larger every second, pulling in nearby ships and debris. "It's a runaway gravity well," explained Rodriguez. "Their prototype is collapsing into a black hole." "The moon," gasped Officer Patel. There's a Keldari colony on that moon. 3 million people. Maya faced a terrible choice: flee to safety or reveal the Artemis's full powers to save millions of lives. Prepare the Cascade drive for maximum output, she ordered. We're going to stop that black hole. The Artemis raced toward the growing gravity well. The black sphere was now pulling in everything nearby, including parts of the Keldari station. All power to the Cascade drive, ordered Captain Maya Chen. Focus on containing the anomaly. Dr. Reeves, still weak from his kidnapping, worked at the science station. We need to create a counterfield, he explained, like fighting fire with fire. The Artemis moved into position between the gravity well and the inhabited moon. As they watched, the dark sphere grew larger. Ready, Captain, said Officer Patel. Activate, Maya commanded. The ship shuddered as the Cascade drive pushed to its limits. A blue energy field spread out from the Artemis, meeting the dark gravity well. Where the two fields touched, space itself seemed to ripple and bend. It's working, shouted Dr. Reeves. Keep it steady. For 5 tense minutes, the Artemis fought against the collapsing gravity. Slowly, the dark sphere began to shrink. Finally, with a flash of light, it disappeared completely. The bridge crew cheered, but Maya knew their troubles weren't over. The entire Concordat had witnessed the Artemis's true power. 2 days later, the Galactic Concordat called an emergency meeting. Representatives from all 27 species attended, along with Maya and her team. High Commander Zextor opened the session. We have gathered to discuss the human Cascade drive technology. While it saved millions of lives, it has been proven too dangerous for any species to possess. The Vox Imperium representative stood. We propose that all Cascade technology be classified as a prohibited cosmic hazard. Earth must surrender all such devices immediately. Voices raised in agreement across the chamber. And if we refuse? Asked Maya. Then Earth will be isolated, said Zextor. No trade, no communication, no assistance. And if necessary, preventive action will be taken. You mean war, said Maya quietly. We mean safety for the galaxy, corrected Zextor. A vote was called. 23 species voted to ban the technology. Only the Mithril Ascendancy and 3 smaller species voted against the ban. Professor Xylo approached Maya after the meeting. This is not about safety, he whispered. The Vox fear your power. They have secured permission to send an inspection fleet to Earth. To enforce the ban, asked Maya. To take your technology for themselves, corrected Xylo. Their public goal is to destroy all Cascade drives, but my sources say they plan to keep them for their military. Back on the Artemis, Maya called an emergency meeting with her crew. We have 3 days before the inspection fleet reaches Earth, she explained. The Concordat has threatened to isolate us if we don't surrender our technology. Can we fight them? Asked Security Chief Dawson. Dr. Reeves shook his head. The Artemis is powerful, but not against hundreds of ships. We need to warn Earth, said Maya. The Vox are coming, not to destroy our technology, but to steal it. As the Artemis prepared to leave for Earth, a message arrived from Professor Xylo. The Vox fleet is larger than reported. 50 capital ships with full battle complements. Be careful, my friends. Maya looked out at the stars. Earth stood alone against a galaxy that feared its power. And the first battle for humanity's future was about to begin. Earth's Defense Council met in the underground command center beneath Geneva. The room was silent as Captain Maya Chen finished her report. 50 Vox capital ships, Admiral Harlow repeated, his face grim. When will they arrive? In 18 hours, Maya answered. And they don't plan to destroy our technology. They want to take it. President Garcia looked around the table at the world's leaders. Options. We could surrender, suggested one general. Give them what they want. And be at their mercy forever. Another argued. Once they have our technology, they'll control Earth. Admiral Harlow stood up. There is another option. He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared showing 3 ships. While Captain Chen was handling diplomacy, we weren't sitting idle. Maya stared at the image. You built more ships with the Cascade drive. Harlow nodded. We planned for 5, but only the Orion and Apollo are fully operational. The Artemis makes 3. 3 ships against 50. President Garcia shook her head. Is that enough? It has to be, said Admiral Harlow. 16 hours later, Earth's 3 warships positioned themselves in Earth's orbit. The Artemis, Orion, and Apollo formed a triangle facing outward, ready for the coming battle. On the Artemis bridge, Captain Chen watched as her crew prepared for combat. Dr. Reeves worked at a special console he had installed. What are you doing? Maya asked him. Working on an idea, he replied. The Cascade drives on all 3 ships are made from the same alien artifact. They share a connection, if we can synchronize them correctly. Before he could finish, Officer Patel called out, incoming, Vox fleet exiting light speed. The space around Earth filled with warships. The Vox fleet was massive. 50 sleek, dangerous vessels, armed with the best weapons in the Concordat. A transmission came through. This is Admiral Vorkath of the Vox Imperium. Surrender your Cascade technology, or we will take it by force. Captain Chen glanced at Admiral Harlow, who had joined her on the bridge. He nodded. This is Captain Chen of Earth. We decline your offer. We know your true intentions. Admiral Vorkath laughed. 3 ships against my fleet. You have courage, human, but courage won't save you. The Vox ships opened fire. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes streaked toward Earth's defenders. The 3 human ships activated their Cascade drives, creating gravity shields that deflected most attacks. But they couldn't block everything. Apollo is hit, reported Officer Patel. Their drive is damaged. Orion's shields are failing, added Lieutenant Rodriguez. Dr. Reeves looked up from his console. Captain, I've got it. The synchronization pattern. Whatever you're going to do it now, ordered Maya as the ship shook from another hit. Dr. Reeves sent the data to the other ships. All 3 Cascade drives must activate on my mark, using this pattern. The Artemis, damaged but functional, moved into position. The Orion and Apollo followed. Ready, mark, called Dr. Reeves. All 3 ships activated their Cascade drives simultaneously. Instead of separate fields, a strange, web-like pattern of energy formed between them. The energy web expanded rapidly, engulfing the entire Vox fleet. Every alien ship froze in place. Their engines shut down, weapons went silent, and they hung motionless in space. What happened? Asked Maya in amazement. Resonance field, explained Dr. Reeves proudly. 3 Cascade drives working together are exponentially more powerful than one alone. Admiral Harlow smiled. Not just more powerful, more precise. You disabled 50 warships without destroying a single one. Maya opened a channel to the Vox fleet. Admiral Vorkath, this demonstration is over. Return to Concordat space and tell them what you've seen today. The watching galaxy had just learned an important lesson. Humans might be new to space, but they were not to be underestimated. Chairs. News of the Vox fleet's defeat spread quickly across the galaxy. The Galactic Concordat called another emergency meeting, but this time, the mood was different. Captain Maya Chen and Dr. Elijah Reeves attended as Earth's representatives. They noticed many aliens looked at them with fear, but also respect. High Commander Zextor opened the session. The Vox Imperium's actions were not authorized by the full Concordat. We apologize for this misunderstanding. Maya knew this was no apology. The Concordat was simply afraid now. Before she could respond, Professor Gvilo of the Mithril Ascendancy stood up. My people can no longer remain silent, he announced. We must share what we know about the human Cascade drive technology. The chamber grew quiet. The Mithril Ascendancy hereby officially breaks from the Concordat's position, declared Thylo. We recognize Earth as an independent power and offer an alliance. Gasps and shouts filled the room. No species had ever broken from a Concordat decision before. Professor Xylo approached Maya and Dr. Reeves. "Please, come with me. There is much to explain." In a private room, Xylo showed them ancient star maps and strange symbols. "For thousands of years, my people have studied traces of an ancient species we call the precursors," Xylo explained. "They were advanced beyond our understanding." Dr. Reeves pointed to a symbol. "That's on the artifact we found." "Yes," said Xylo. "The precursors created these devices and left them throughout the galaxy. Each was designed for a specific species to find." "But why?" asked Maya. "They were tests," Xylo said. "The precursors wanted to find worthy successors. They left their most powerful technologies hidden, waiting for the right species to discover them. And they chose humans for the Cascade technology." Dr. Reeves looked surprised. "Exactly," nodded Xylo. "Our records show that 12 other species found similar artifacts over the past million years. All of them used the technology for conquest or destroyed themselves with it." Maya frowned. "But we didn't." "No," agreed Xylo. "Humans are the first to use this power primarily for defense rather than attack. You disabled the Vox fleet when you could have destroyed it. That is unprecedented." Dr. Reeves sat quietly for a moment. "You said the technology was designed specifically for humans. How is that possible? The artifact is millions of years old." "The precursors could see possible futures," explained Xylo. "They designed each technology to work with the unique biology and psychology of its intended recipients." "Are the precursors still out there?" asked Maya. Xylo's eyes dimmed. "We don't know. They vanished long ago. Perhaps they ascended to another plane of existence, or perhaps they died out. But their legacy remains." Back in the main chamber, the Concordat was in chaos. Some species, now called humans, the chosen ones, and wanted alliances. Others feared humans even more, seeing them as dangerous usurpers of ancient power. "The Concordat will never be the same," Xylo told Maya. "Your arrival has changed everything." As they left the station, Maya watched the stars through the viewport. Somewhere out there, ancient eyes might still be watching, judging whether humans were worthy of the power they had been given. And the test, she realized, was far from over. 2 weeks after the alliance with the Mithril Ascendancy, Earth established its first off-world colony on Mars. The settlement was small but growing quickly. Captain Maya Chen was there for the opening ceremony when she received an urgent message from Admiral Harlow. "Return to command immediately," it read. "Multiple attacks on our ships." When Maya arrived at Earth Defense Headquarters, the Situation Room was in chaos. A large screen showed red warning lights at different points across the solar system. "What's happening?" she asked Admiral Harlow. 3 human cargo ships destroyed in the past 6 hours, he explained grimly, plus an attack on our new science station near Jupiter. "The Vox?" asked Maya. "No," said Harlow. "Different ships, different weapons, but they're coordinating somehow." Professor Xylo appeared on a communication screen. "Captain Chen, we've learned something disturbing. Several species have formed what they're calling a shadow concordat. They aim to destroy human expansion by any means necessary." "Which species?" Maya asked. "The Vox Imperium leads them, of course," said Xylo, "but also the Keldari Consortium and 3 others. They fear your potential." Security Chief Dawson entered the room. "Admiral, we've intercepted communications. The Shadow Concordat is planning simultaneous attacks on all human outposts. They want to spread our ships thin." Admiral Harlow studied the star map. "They're smart. We have 3 Cascade ships, but 7 locations to defend. We can't be everywhere at once." "It's a trap," realized Maya. "They're forcing us to either abandon our colonies or split up our defenses." "Exactly," nodded Harlow. "If we use our ships offensively, we prove we're dangerous. If we stay defensive, we lose our colonies." Maya thought for a moment. What if we use the Artemis differently? Not as a weapon, but as a communications hub. Dr. Reeves, who had been quietly working in the corner, looked up. The gravity fields. They could be modified to carry signals across vast distances instantly. A warning system? Asked Admiral Harlow. Better, said Maya. The Artemis could stay in Earth orbit and create a gravity web connecting all our outposts. If one is attacked, we'd know immediately and could send conventional ships to help. Dr. Reeves worked quickly. Within hours, he had reprogrammed the Artemis Cascade drive. The plan worked perfectly. When Shadow Concordat ships attacked the Mars colony, the gravity web alerted Earth instantly. Defense ships arrived before the attackers could do serious damage. The same happened at Jupiter's science station and 2 mining outposts in the asteroid belt. Each time, human ships arrived with surprising speed, forcing the attackers to retreat. On the Shadow Concordat's command ship, the Vox Admiral slammed his fist on the table. How do they respond so quickly? He demanded. They must have spies in our ranks. A Keldari commander shook her head. It's the Cascade drive. They're using it in a way we never imagined. Not as a weapon, but as a communication tool. The Vox Admiral stared at the tactical display. The humans had turned their most powerful weapon into a shield for their entire system. We need a new strategy, he growled. Target the Artemis itself. Without it, their network falls apart. As he spoke, a massive fleet of Shadow Concordat ships began moving toward Earth. Their target, the Artemis and its revolutionary Cascade drive. Earth's long-range sensors detected the massive Shadow Concordat fleet 3 days before it would reach Earth. Over 200 ships from 5 different species were coming, all focused on one target, the Artemis. In the Geneva Command Center, Earth's leaders gathered for what might be their final war council. Can we win this fight? Asked President Garcia. Admiral Harlow shook his head. Not conventionally. Even with all 3 Cascade ships, we're outnumbered. Captain Maya Chen had been quiet, thinking deeply. Now she spoke. What if we don't fight at all? Everyone stared at her. I want to address the full Concordat, she explained. Not just the Shadow Group, but all 27 species. 2 days later, the Artemis hovered above the Concordat Central Station. Maya had requested an emergency assembly, and surprisingly, they had agreed. The Artemis was clearly visible through the station's giant windows, a silent reminder of human power as Maya stood before the gathered representatives. Many of you want to ban our ship, she began. You fear what we might do with it. Today, I will show you everything the Artemis can do. Gasps filled the room as a large hologram appeared, showing detailed schematics of the Cascade drive. This is the complete technical data on our technology, Maya continued. I am transmitting it to every species in this room right now. The Vox representatives jumped to their feet in shock. Why would you give away your greatest advantage? Demanded High Commander Xextor. Because keeping it secret has only led to fear and conflict, Maya answered. The precursors didn't give us this technology to conquer, but to protect and unite. She pressed another button, and new images appeared showing peaceful applications of the Cascade drive. Dr. Reeves has developed ways to use gravity fields for terraforming lifeless planets, cleaning polluted atmospheres, and even preventing natural disasters, Maya explained. This power wasn't meant to be a weapon. It was meant to be a tool for all intelligent life. Professor Xylo of the Mithril stood. The human speaks truth. Our archaeologists confirmed the precursors wanted unity, not division. The station shook slightly as the Shadow Concordat fleet arrived. Through the windows, everyone could see hundreds of warships surrounding the Artemis. Your ship is trapped, said the Vox Admiral via communication screen. Surrender now. Maya smiled. Look more carefully at what the Artemis is doing. The Artemis began to glow with blue energy, but instead of attacking, it created a beautiful, intricate web of light connecting every ship in the Shadow Fleet. What is this? Demanded the Admiral. Harmony field. explained Maya. Another application of the cascade drive. Your weapons won't fire while it's active. No one's will, including ours. She turned back to the assembly. We propose a new path forward. Earth will join the Concordat, but with a special responsibility. Leading a joint research initiative on cascade technology, with representatives from all species working together. The vote that followed wasn't even close. 25 species voted to accept Earth's proposal. The Artemis was reclassified from warship to guardian vessel, with a multi-species crew. 1 month later, Maya watched as aliens and humans worked together on the Artemis bridge. Captain, called Dr. Reeves excitedly, our first terraforming test was successful. The dead moon is showing signs of atmosphere formation. Maya smiled. The ship that was too powerful to allow had found its true purpose, not as a weapon, but as the vessel that would change the galaxy forever. Earth's test had been passed. The precursor's gift was in good hands.